Yo, what is up everybody? My name is Risa and today we are back on Attack on Titan Revolution. So in my last video, I prestiged to Prestige 3, which has caused all my ODM stats, gold, and levels to be reset. And I've been spending the past couple of days playing this game to level up my character to a point where I could possibly prestige again. And as of now, I'm currently at level 134 out of 175 levels, so that's honestly pretty good for the amount of time that I've spent on this game. So in this video, I'll be giving you guys some tips and tricks on how to level up fast and also get your first prestige or even more. So without further ado, let's get straight into the level and prestige guide. To start off, I'm going to split this guide into different parts depending on what type of gear you have and also at what level you're currently at. So if you are between the levels of 0 and 25 and your ODM rank is between E and D, I would recommend that you guys do the following missions: Outskirts Skirmish or Escort mission, Giant Forest Skirmish or Guard mission, and Loading Docks Skirmish or Stall mission. Now you guys might be wondering why I decided to choose these missions. The reason why I chose Outskirts is because 1, it's a very open map, so it's easy to navigate with your ODM gear and also outgrow Titans, and 2, you can actually clear this map very fast if you're running with a team. Technically, Outskirts does give the lowest XP out of the other maps, but if you're able to clear it quickly enough many times, it should not be too bad. However, if you are a solo ODM player, I would only recommend doing the Outskirts Skirmish mission because it may be difficult to do the Escort mission if you're not running a team, have a high ODM gear level, shifter, or have skills. Next, the reason why I chose Giant Forest is because 1, it gives the highest XP out of every other map, and 2, it can actually be cleared very quickly if you're running a team. Giant Forest map is a pretty decent map itself, having 3 refill stations, and if you are doing a Giant Forest skirmish mission with a team and each of you guys split off to clear a different section of the forest, you can actually clear this mission within like 1 to 2 minutes, which is honestly pretty fast, especially with the high EXP drop rate. However, I would say the Giant Forest defend mission or female time mission is better for shifters because shifters just have better skills to clear swarms of Titans compared to ODM players. ODM players could also do the FEMA time mission, but I just think the skirmish mission with a good team is just better for XP gain overall. Next, the reason why I chose Loading Docks is because of the stall mission and also the map design. The stall mission on the Loading Docks map is actually very good for ODM players because the Colossal Titans actually do not fight you back, so all you have to do is just kill them, which is honestly not too hard. However, I would personally not do the stall mission if your ODM rank gear is between E and D because you don't really have good range on your ODM gear, so it's kind of hard to grapple onto the Colossal Titans from like far away or from like across the map, so it can be pretty hard for you to solo if you have low rank ODM gear, but with players it could be much better and much easier to do. You can also do the Loading Docks skirmish mission, which is honestly I think is okay. I personally did not find it as enjoyable as the stall mission, so you could do that, but honestly it's up to your choice. So that's basically the missions that I recommend that you guys do if your ODM gear rank is between E and D. So let's go on to the middle ranks. Now, if your ODM gear rank is between C and B, you can still do those 3 maps that I suggested in those particular missions. However, I would personally start moving away from Outskirts and focusing more on Giant Forest and Loading Docks, depending on what type of player you are. If you're purely an ODM player, I would focus on either the Giant Forest Skirmish mission or the Loading Docks Stall mission. Do the Giant Forest Skirmish mission if you have a good team, and do the Loading Docks Stall mission if you are soloing or if you're running a team. However, if you are a shifter, I would purely focus on Giant Forest female missions because regardless of what time you have, they are so easy to clear. Moving on to ODM gear rank between A and S, it's basically the same thing. If you are an ODM player, do either Giant Forest skirmish missions or Loading Docks stall missions. If you're a shifter, do purely Giant Forest female time missions. So now I'll be talking about more on prestiging itself and what to do before and after. So before you prestige, there are actually a few things that you should actually do. If you guys did not know, any gold that you have before you prestige will actually turn into gems after you prestige. And there's actually a conversion rate to that, so I'll go ahead and pop that up on the screen right now. So if you guys want to have a lot of gems, make sure to get a lot of gold before you prestige. The next thing you guys want to do is reset your skill tree because depending on how your skill tree is set up, it could actually affect what types of memories you guys can get. So for example, if I wanted to go for a high 4-star offensive memory, I would invest all my skill points into the offensive tree, which is the middle part right here. And I don't think it matters which side you go. I think all it matters is if you completely fill out your offensive tree. And I would also leave the left and the right side tree blank. Another thing that you guys can do, which is kind of optional, is by prestige scrolls because they're going to help you keep re-rolling memories until you get the ones that you want. But the reason it's optional because 1, it costs a good amount of gems if you want a lot. So yeah. Now let's talk about what you should do during the prestige. When you're prestiging, you will have the option to choose between 3 permanent boosts, which are luck, EXP, and gold. And when you are presented this option, always go with the luck boost because you can always buy gold and EXP boosts in the shop. And once you're max level, having permanent gold and EXP boosts don't really matter. So at the end of the day, the luck boost is always better because it can help you get like rare drops like serum, mythical perks, and like mythical artifacts. You also have the option to choose between different memories, but it's honestly your choice because your decision can vary a lot depending on what type of build you're going for. So now let's talk about what you should do after your prestige. So after your prestige, all your gold levels and ODM gear will get reset, so you have to build everything up from the ground again. Let's start with the ODM gear, and there are actually a couple ways you can actually go about this, but I'm going to tell you guys how I personally do it. So I personally prioritize ODM damage, and once I can't upgrade that anymore, I go to blade durability, crit chance, crit damage, ODM speed, ODM control, ODM gas, and then ODM range. Now this order might be wrong for some people, but this is how I personally do it and I like it, so it may be different for you guys. I also don't spend most of my gold or skill points on my skill tree until my ODM gear is at least rank D, so I mainly prioritize upgrading my ODM gear then my skill tree, but this may be different for you guys depending on your skill level. I would also recommend, if you guys can, buy some boosts in the shop because they can actually help a lot when it comes to leveling up. When it comes to modifiers, I usually always turn on Nightmare, Time Trial, and Fog, and also Oddball. Sometimes I do injury prone and chronic injuries. I see people do that as well. I personally don't enjoy it that much, but if you're really in need of XP and gold, go ahead and turn them on as well. But yeah, you can get a whole lot of XP and gold just by turning on some modifiers as well. You can also do raids to level up, but me personally, I don't really do them because they are kind of time consuming and they are kind of difficult to do. But if you want to do raids, feel free to do them. Anyways, this will be the end of today's video. To sum things up real quick, the 3 best maps to gain XP fast are Giant Forest, Outskirts, and the Loading Docks map. But if I had to choose one map only to do, I would do the Giant Forest map because it gives the highest XP. Also, if I were to choose one mission to only do to gain XP fast, I would do the Giant Forest Scourge mission with a team. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to press that like button and subscribe for more Attack on Titan Revolution content. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.